Hello and welcome to Weekly Current Affairs series for the month of December. So here we discuss all the important news snippets in MCQ format which will be really helpful for your exams like IAS, CDS, FCAT, SSC and CAPF. So let's begin this video. So the first question over here is, who has been appointed as the additional director of CBI? So as you understand, the interim basically director was Nageshwar Rao, but what you need to understand here is that he is also appointed now as the additional director. So out of the four options, the correct answer is Nageshwar Rao. And also, as you understand, the basic CBI tussle between Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana is still with the Supreme Court. So that's the reason CBI was lot in news. Next question is, which of the following city is the venue for the ninth meeting of India ROK Joint Commission? So here ROK basically stands for the South Korea here. So the whole purpose of this meeting is to actually have more strategic relationship when it comes to say technology transfer or basically the cultural transfer. So all these will be the highlights of this particular meeting. So this will be held in our capital, that is New Delhi. Following with the next question is, ISRO has successfully launched a military satellite known as GSAT-7A. So which vehicle did it use? So you basically have four options here: GSLV F-13, 14, 11 and 16. So it was basically using the GSLV F-11, and the whole purpose of this particular satellite is to actually interlink all the communication within our military network, say the radars and even the various instruments that we have. So it is basically will be used to actually interconnect various military devices that we use in our country. Following with the next question is, which state has emerged as the best performing state in the startup ecosystem ranking of 2018? So the first rank was basically given to Gujarat. So what we need to understand here is this ranking was actually formulated by the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, and this particular department comes directly under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and this particular department was actually established in 1995 but again reconstitution in 2000. Following which, the next question is, in 2018, the annual conference of state DGP and IG will be held in which of the following state? So this is something which we have discussed even in the Indian Express analysis. So the whole purpose of this is to actually discuss the matters of police reforms, the various problems that they face, like say fake news, mob lynching, how exactly that they can face all these problems will be discussed in this conference. So this particular conference is going to be held in Gujarat. So it will be near to the Statue of Unity, which is located in Gujarat. Following with the next question is, which international organization has officially adopted the global framework on international migration? So what we need to understand here is, right now most of the countries are quite anti-migrant. So that's the reason this particular say the passing of this particular bill or is very important. So this was actually adopted by UNGA, that is United Nations General Assembly. So you will find these at the headquarter in New York City, and right now the president is Maria Fernanda Espinosa. Following with the next question is, which Indian politician is the author of the book A Rural Manifesto Realizing India's Future Through Her Villages? So as we understand, most of our people or population is still dependent on agriculture and they live in a rural India. So that's the reason this particular book actually is very much significant, and this is written by Varun Gandhi, and you can read more about it right over here. Following with the next question is, on which date is the International Human Solidarity Day was observed recently? So you basically have four options here: December 19, 20, 22 and 21. So this is basically commemorated on December 20th, but what you need to understand here is this particular day is actually commemorated to actually show solidarity, to actually reduce the amount of poverty that we have in our world. Even you understand the SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals, the first goal itself is to reduce poverty. Following with the next question is, which of the following cities is venue for the National Balrang 2018? So you have basically four options here: Bhopal, New Delhi, Jaipur and Lucknow. So the right answer over here is basically Bhopal. So what is the whole purpose of it? So what happens here is, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangralaya, in collaboration with the Director of Public Institution, they actually flourish all the cultural activities, the exchange of say the knowledge here between the school children. So all these things happens here. So this is basically a very important event in the Madhya Pradesh. So the next question is, Silao Khaja, which recently got the geographical indicator tag, is a traditional delicacy of which state? You have basically four options here: Nagaland, Kerala, Bihar and Jharkhand. So this particular delicacy known as Silao Khaja, you will find it in Bihar. And also the next question is, which Indian film has been shortlisted for the 91st Oscar in documentary short subject category? So you basically have four options here, and the right answer here is period end of the sentence. So that is very important here. You just need to remember the name, and basically this particular documentary is with relation to menstruation in the rural India. Following with the next question is, who has been elected as the vice president of FICCI for the 2018 and 19? So these kinds of question can come up in your SSC exam, so you need to know the name. So the person selected is basically Uday Shankar. So coming to know about more about FICCI here, so basically this was established in 1927, and FICCI basically stands for the Federation of Indian Chambers and Commerce and Industry. So right now, as I've told you, that the vice president is right now Uday Shankar. Next question is, which state has become the India's first state to bring in a law against extortion? So you have basically four options here: Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Manipur, and Arunachal Pradesh. The right answer here is Jammu Kashmir. So what exactly do you mean by extortion? So there are a lot of sexual exploitation done by various bureaucrats to their women. That's the reason this particular bill, which was passed recently in Jammu Kashmir, which actually guard all the atrocities against the women, which is done within the bureaucracy. So that's the reason this particular bill becomes very important. Next question is, NASCOM has partnered with which of the IIT for the training workforce in the digital skills? So you have basically four options: IIT Kanpur, Bombay, Madras, and Indore. So this is basically signed with IIT Madras. So what they're going to do is they're going to actually implement a lot of programs here wherein the youth can actually go in these centers and actually learn a lot when it comes to the skill. Next question is, which of the following object is the most distant object ever spotted in our solar system? So you basically have four options here: Goblin, Far Out, Beidin, and Eris. So the right answer here is basically Far Out. So this is basically a pink colored dwarf planet in our solar system, which is the most distant planet. And there's one more thing that you need to know here is that the distance is basically measured in astronomical units, and basically astronomical unit is equal to the distance between the sun and the earth. And the next question is, who has been named as the PETA's International Person of the Year 2018? You have basically four options here, and the right answer basically is Sonam Kapoor. So what you need to more understand here is about PETA. So PETA has its headquarters in Virginia, that is basically United States, and also even when Jalai that incident was happening, PETA was very much in news. So you need to understand here the basic of the PETA here. And the next question here is, the postage stamp of Rajkumar Shukla, which has been released by Indian Post, was associated with which of the following historical events? So you would actually remember the Champaran Satyagraha, so wherein the Rajkumar Shukla actually goes to Mahatma Gandhi and tells him all the happenings in Champaran. So that's the reason Rajkumar Shukla is very important, and that's the reason this particular postage stamp has come up. Following with the next question is, the European Union has decided to reduce the new car emission by 37.5% by which year? So the right answer over here is basically 2030. And why this becomes very important is, even recently we had the COP24 in Katowice. The whole aim is to actually reduce the amount of CO2 emission. In that perspective, this particular target is very important. Following with the next question is, which state government has launched the Shiksha Setu app to ensure better connectivity with college students? So you basically have four options here: Punjab, Assam, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. So this particular app called Shiksha Setu is actually launched in Haryana. So what will actually this empower the colleges and the students to actually look into, say they want to know the curriculum, they want to actually pay the fees, all these things can be done using this particular app known as Shiksha Setu. Following this, next question is, which is the India's rank in WEF Gender Gap Index? So this particular index is actually given by the World Economic Forum, and right now India's rank in 2018 was 108. So coming to know more about the World Economic Forum, you will get the headquarters in Cologne, that is basically in Switzerland. Question is, which city is the venue for 37th Senior National Rowing Championship of 2018? So if you don't know what rowing basically means is, so this is the picture that you see depicts what the rowing means, and this particular championship will be held in Pune. Following with the next question is, who was Tulsi Giri, who recently passed away? So you basically have four options here. The first is basically former Union Minister of India, a well-known diplomat, a well-known author, but the right answer over here is former PM of Nepal. So you can read more about Tulsi Giri here. He was basically two-time Prime Minister of the Nepal region. Coming to the map of Nepal, you can see all the adjacent Indian states, like you can see on the top, say Uttarakhand, then Uttar Pradesh, then you can see Bihar, Sikkim, and West Bengal. So these are the basically 5 states which actually touches Nepal region. So next question is, who has been crowned as the Miss India Worldwide 2018? So the right answer over here is basically Shri Saini. So next question is NITI Aayog has organized the third edition of Women Transforming India Award of 2018 in collaboration with which international organization? So you basically have four options here: WHO, UNICEF, ILO, and United Nations. So this particular say award is actually with the collaboration between NITI Aayog and the United Nations. Next question is National Crime Record Bureau, which recently got its new director, comes under which of the ministries? So we basically have four options here, and the right answer over here is Ministry of Home Affairs. So basically NCRB, which actually collects all the data related to all the crime data happening in our country based on the IPC, is a very important body. So right now the headquarters is obviously New Delhi and was founded in 1986. And if you want to know, the motto of it is basically empowering Indian police with the information technology. Next question is India's first military flight using the blended biojet fuel has been successfully flown in which of the following aircrafts? So the options here are basically AN-30, 32, 33 and 34. So that answer is basically Antonov 32, which is basically an aircraft which we got from Russia. So you can know more about the biojet fuel here. So the biofuel that was used was actually extracted from Jatropa. Next question is Pandit Arun Bhaduri, who recently passed away, was a maestro in which of the following Indian performing arts? So you basically have four options here: classical dance, Rabindra Sangeet, Carnatic music, and Hindustani classic music. So he's basically more into the Hindustani classic music. So remember the name, his name is Pandit Arun Bhaduri. Next question is, what is the theme for 2018 International Migrants Day? So you basically have four options here: migration with dignity, I am a migrant, safe migration in the world, on the move, migration with self-respect. So this particular International Migration Day has the theme of migration with dignity. Next question is, which woman law officer has been appointed as a new additional Solicitor General of India in Supreme Court? So the right answer over here is basically Madhavi Diwan. So the whole purpose of basically this ASG is basically to have the particular person who is the highest law officer in our country. Next question is, which of the following countries is recently declared 2019 as the year of tolerance? So basically, you have four options here: Saudi Arabia, Israel, Australia, and UAE. So this is being considered by UAE. And you can see more about the map of UAE here. As you see, the capital of UAE is obviously Abu Dhabi, and you can see all the other adjacent countries here. Like you can see Qatar here, Saudi Arabia, and Oman. Please understand, Bahrain does not touch any of these countries. And this, on the top you can see the Persian Gulf, and this is basically known as the Strait of Hormuz, because most of the oil, say from Saudi Arabia, UAE actually passes through this particular strait called Strait of Hormuz. Next question is, who has become the first Indian to lift Badminton World Federation World Tour final title? So this is something which we discussed even in the Indian Express analysis. So the right answer over here is basically PV Sindhu. Next question is, which of the following Pakistani military officer had signed the Instrument of Surrender on 16th December of 1971 after the defeat in 1971 Indo-Pak War? So basically you have four options here, and most of the people know this answer. That is basically Amir Abdullah Khan Naisi. So you can see the picture here. This is a very iconic picture of 1971 surrender by the Pakistanis, and this was basically the Bangladesh Liberation War here, and you can see more about here. Next question is, one city, one operator scheme, which was recently in news, is related to which one of the following? Traffic, sewage, roads, and electricity. So you need to know this is basically very much related to the Clean Ganga program, wherein sewage treatment plant has been created. So that's the reason this is known as the one city, one operator for the STP, that is sewage treatment plants. Next question is, India's first private unmanned aerial vehicle factory has been opened in which of the following state or basically cities in our country? So we basically have four options here: Gwalior, Dehradun, Hyderabad, and Kochi. So the right answer over here is basically Hyderabad. Next question is, which state has been selected as 2018 Krishi Karman Award under the rice category? So the right answer over here is basically Jharkhand, and you can look at the map of Jharkhand and you have to locate all the adjacent state of Jharkhand. You can see from the top here, you can see Bihar, following which West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh. Following with the next question is, which film has won the Golden Crow Peasant Award for the 23rd International Film Festival of Kerala? So the right answer over here is basically The Dark Room. It's basically an Iranian based film here which has got this particular award. Next question is, which Indian American film producer has recently been honored with the French Knight of National Order of Merit? So basically he's a producer, Indian based producer, whose name is Ashok Amritraj. You can see him on the next page here. Next question is, which neighboring country of India has banned all the Indian currency notes above 100? So basically you have four options here: Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. So the right answer over here is basically Nepal here. So right now any currency amount more than 100 is actually not valid in Nepal. Next question is, who has been crowned as the 67th Miss Universe 2018? So the right answer over here is basically Ketonia Elisa Gray. Next question is, which country team has won the 2018 Men's Hockey World Cup? So you basically have four options here: Netherlands, Belgium, Australia, and England. So first thing that you need to know here is this particular World Cup was happening in Bhubaneswar in India, and this was actually won by Belgium, and they won it against Netherlands. You can get the more details over here. Next question is, who has been honored with Janpith Award for 2018? So you basically have four options here: Krishna Sobati, Shankara Kurup, and Raghuvi Chaudhary, and Amitav Ghosh. So this particular Janpith Award is being given to Amitav Ghosh here. Next question is, who is the head of the newly constituted group of minister on stressed power assets? So first thing you need to understand here, group of minister is basically a group wherein it is strategically made to actually look into a specific matter. So that's the reason this group is actually created. And for the stressed power assets, it is headed by Arun Jaitley here. Next question is, the world's first floating nuclear power plant has become operational in which of the countries? So you basically have four options here: Russia, France, Japan, and United States. So as you see on the image, this is basically towards the Arctic region, and this is being established in Russia. Next question is, which city is the venue for 39th Gulf Cooperation Council Summit? So basically four options here: Baghdad, Riyadh, Muscat, and Tehran. So this is basically going to happen in Riyadh, that is in Saudi Arabia. So coming to know more about Gulf Cooperation Council, that it was established in 1981 and it has its headquarters even in Riyadh. So what we need to understand here is, after Qatar has come out from the OPEC, so that's the reason this particular summit become very, very important. Next question is, on which date is the 2018 National Energy Conservation Day was recently observed in India? So basically you have four options here: December 14, 13, 15, and 16. So under the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, this was actually celebrated on December 14, and these awards are given based on those industries who have actually done very much in saving the energy in our country. Next question is, which of the following union minister has launched the Eco Nivas Samhita 2018? So this has been actually inaugurated by the Ministry of Power. So as you see on the photo here. And the next thing is about Ministry of Power. Right now, the person who holds this is basically R.K. Singh. So he's previously a bureaucrat, now he is a minister. Next question is, who has been sworn in as a new Chief Minister of Mizoram? So yeah, basically four options here. And the right answer is basically Pu Zoramanthka. And you can see the more about on this new snippet. And coming to the location of Mizoram, as you see here, the adjacent states which are actually touching Mizoram are basically Tripura here, and on the top you can see Assam, and following which you can see Manipur. Also, if I talk about what are the various countries which touches the border of Mizoram, you can see Bangladesh over here and Myanmar. So next question is, the Nigerian military has recently lifted ban on which of the United Nations agency operation in Rawag or Northeast? So basically you have four options here: UNESCO, UNIDO, WHF, and UNICEF. The right answer over here is basically UNICEF. And what we need to understand here is, the reason why it was actually banned was it was considered that these organizations, whatever they are funding or basically whatever things that they're providing, is actually sponsoring the Boko Haram. That's the reason they put a ban on these particular organization known as UNICEF, but right now the ban has been lifted. And coming to the map of Nigeria, you'll see it in the African region, and the capital basically is Abuja. Next question is, which Indian armed forces has launched Operation Oliva to safeguard the turtles in Odisha? So the right answer over here is basically Indian Coast Guard, which has actually launched this operation, is to actually safeguard all the turtles which actually come to lay their eggs in the Odisha coast. And you can see the location here. Basically here most of these say olive ridley turtle comes here, and this particular location known as Gahirmata is very important. They might just ask you in exam saying Gahirmata was recently in news, where is it located? So it is basically located in Odisha. Next question is, which state government has recently passed resolution to seek 33% reservation for women in parliament? So you basically have four options here: Punjab, Haryana, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. So this particular reservation for women in parliament is very important when it comes to reducing the gender gap and providing more and more representation of women. So this has been passed by Punjab. For today guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share this among your friends. Thank you and have a nice day. Jai Hind.